so faithless, lost under the surface. Don't know what you're expecting of me, but under the pressure of walking in your shoes, every step that I take is another mistake to you. I've become so numb. I've become so numb. Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. Call my name and
What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to Guerrilla Tactics, the only place where you can create guerrilla warfare to make change. Now listen, beautiful people, I'm so sorry. I had other topics that I wanted to do with you guys, and I haven't been able to really, grasp the feeling of what it is I'm really trying to explain in those topics. And to be honest with you, I did have a topic that I 100% wanted to do, but I feel like I didn't grasp everything that I needed to have that conversation. But do not fret, because you saw the thumbnail and you saw the video before this discussion even started, and I got so much to talk about. I want to talk with you guys about emotions and how important emotions can be. And sometimes emotions can either cloud your thoughts, can help you succeed in life and build something into you, or make you feel or be the crutch that holds you down. So I feel like a lot of times people try to shy away from emotions because they feel like it makes them weak. But to be honest with you, emotions are very fruitful, and these are things that need to be talked about. So please grab some popcorn, get a seat, get some covers, the whole nine, grab your loved one, sit down, and let's have this discussion. Starting now. Let's do this.
Beginning of the secrets to the life that you needed. Looking in my own eyes, knowing I couldn't defeat it. All the feelings in my soul, all my thoughts and told.
Okay, beautiful people, how you doing? So, the first thing I want to talk about is the emotional love. Love is a very complex emotion. Sometimes it could take you up very high, and sometimes it could bring you down very low. And a lot of times, depending on how that love is being reciprocated back, it can really cause some damages inside of you if treated in the wrong way. Again, you guys know that I believe in God. And first and foremost, God said that he is of love. God is love. And if God is love, then that means that love has its purest forms. But there are also times when love can also be very dangerous, and it can be very dark, depending on the individuals. But the reason why I wanted to talk about the aspect of love, the emotion of love, is because sometimes love can be very misunderstood. When you look at love, the first thing that you thought of when it comes down to love is that fairy tale love. You know, the man loves the woman with all his heart, and he's expressing his emotions. He's showing his love, and he's not giving up on her, and she's doing the same. And they live happily ever after. They smiling and they're happy, and butterflies are flying around, and the sun is out, and everything is good, right? But what a lot of times what people don't understand is that love comes with struggle. And sometimes it shows more merit in love when you fight for something versus when things is just working the way it needs to go every single time. Now, the reason why I started with the emotion of love, because sometimes what happens is that we have these expectations for love, and we wanted them to go the way that we want them to go, because we already envisioned how we wanted everything to be for us, how we were going to feel in being in love with someone, you know what I mean? And a lot of times what happens is those expectations become crutches that keep us from actually opening up to what truly is meant for us. And the reason why I said love could be dark sometimes is because sometimes you're going to hit rocks and mountains in your way. They're going to try and disrupt whatever connection or building with whoever you're with, and it's going to try and stop, whatever flow that you guys are going in. And, a lot of times we get stuck in the cupcake phase, and people think that the cupcake phase ends, but it doesn't have to. I feel like the cupcake phase actually can continue, but it stops when you exhaust the possibilities that you guys have for each other. So when you're showing the romance in the beginning, it's in that romance that's showing that connection between the two of you, and it's making you guys love each other and connect with each other, and then falling in love. But what happens is over time, when you use so many different things to keep that love going, you start to get relaxed. You start to get laxed with the person you're with. They seeing more value in who you are, so you feel as if you don't have to put, you know, so much in as much as before, because now they know you and they're gonna stay, because you know they told you that they're gonna stay with you for forever. But I feel like that shouldn't have to be the case. Sometimes you have to keep showing that love, keep showing that emotion, because what happens is that even if it's a person that is clouded in the aspect of what it means to feel love, you can show them that love through your actions. You know what I mean? In the Bible, God showed us what was known as an agape love. And the agape love he showed us was like him creating himself in human form and then dying for us. He allowed his son to die for us. That's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And yes, Jesus had to go through a lot of pain and a lot of suffering, but he took that for us, even though he was scared. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at love, sometimes when you're walking that path and you're walking that road, it becomes scary. It becomes scary. You start to look at how things are starting to change. You don't know what's going to happen in the future, and maybe some things change within you or that individual, and it becomes scary, because now you're wondering if that y'all still bear that same connection. Y'all wonder if y'all still have that same love that y'all did before. But I'm here to tell you that you did. You still have that same love. The only difference is that you guys are now growing more and more and adapting more to how life is moving. So what you have to now do is continue to hold dear to the things that brought y'all together in the first place. So emotions can sometimes take you on a whirlwind, the same way love can take you on a journey, or pain can take you through suffering to bring you into the other side of the tunnel. But in order for you to get there, you have to keep on going forward. You have to keep on pushing forward. But sometimes what happens is within emotions, we look back. So some time back, I had a dream. And in my dream, it was actually really crazy. There was this old lady, and I was a general or a lieutenant in the army. And I had this whole platoon with me, and we were all trying to protect this old woman. And that was the mission. We had to protect her, get her out of the dungeon, and get her to the end, and you know, everything was going to be okay. I had the lady right next to me, and we're in the front, and we're running. All my soldiers are behind me, and we're running, and it's really dark, and all you see is one light inside in the front. And we're trying to run to that light, and we hear this creature coming. We don't know what it is. We can't look at it. The lady looks at me, and she tells me, "Don't look back." So I'm trying not to look back, but I'm like, yo, why? Like, what's going on? Like, what is it that we're facing? She's not telling me. She's just telling me, don't look back. Just keep going forward. And in the midst of that, I'm telling my soldiers, don't look back, soldiers, keep running forward, keep pushing, keep pushing. But a lot of them just was giving up. They kept looking back, and they're trying to shoot and fight whatever it is that was there. And I'm scared. And I'm like, no, that's my men. That's my people. That's my brothers. I got to fight for them. So I'm trying to turn around to go back. And she keeps telling me, look forward. Just keep looking forward. Don't look back. So we were almost at the light. And she says, don't look back. No matter what happens, keep looking forward. And she turned around. And everything, every person and everything that looked back disappeared. All you heard was screaming, and they disappeared. And every ounce of me wanted to turn around, but I couldn't. And I went through the light, and I woke up. And for the longest time, I didn't understand what that dream meant. But it showed, and it gave me that understanding of what we're fighting and what we're wrestling with between that flesh and that spirit. Our emotions is attached to this flesh, to this body. So our bodies are going to react to whatever we feel. But it's in our spirits that we find stronger value in ourselves. And in order to find that value, you have to keep pushing forward. So a lot of times when you're dealing with these whirlwind of emotions, whether you're on this high or you're on this very low, or whatever the case is, things are going to be placed inside your path to just pull you astray, to make you want to give up or have doubt against whatever emotions that you're feeling. But sometimes those emotions are what you need in order for your spirit to grow. So you have to allow those emotions to falter, not to falter, but to prosper within inside of you in order for you to understand the lessons that's trying to be taught. But sometimes our emotions could cloud us. And it's in those moments where it clouds us that we really become stagnant. Sometimes we are going through our own personal situations and our own personal traumas or situations that we face in life. And within those things, we have to remember that our bodies and our traumas or situations that we face in life. And within those things, we have to remember that our bodies and our actions are going to reflect what our emotions bring forth. So sometimes when we're going through these traumas, we get caught inside of this little bubble, and that bubble is full of that emotion. And what happens is every time something hits a point that brings back that trauma or brings back that issue, we falter back into it and we drown. In the Bible, God said that you cannot have doubt. That when a man has doubt, it's as if that he's in a wrestling sea and he's falling under. Now, I don't know the exact scripture, and I would tell you as the exact scripture. In fact, I'll put it right up here so that you guys can see. But you don't want to fall under the current. Because if you fall under the current, then you're no longer seeing whatever lessons that's trying to be taught to you. So you have to stay on the surface. And in order to stay on the surface, you have to stay open. You know what I mean? So as you saw in the video in the beginning of this video, in the very beginning of this video, you saw the person talking about the emotions of what it is that that people want. What are people expecting, or what are the expectations that he's placing on himself in order to move forward? And a lot of times you lose your head because you don't know what road you're supposed to take. And sometimes you get caught inside of like an ultimatum within yourself where you feel like you have to either take. And it seems as if there's only two roads, but to be honest with you, you don't have to follow that road, because God who's standing right in front of you, is going to make sure that you're on the path that you need to go. So when you're dealing with your emotions, sometimes you have to look at yourself. Look at yourself, really look at yourself in the mirror. Close your eyes and picture yourself and be honest. You know what I'm saying? Because emotions could take you any type of direction. Sometimes they're clear and sometimes they're not. You know what I mean? So we have to understand that there's a lot of times where we feel that we're being held back is not because of anything around us, but because what we're projecting forward. So your emotions are reflections of how your actions are going to end up being. But if you walk in the spirit, it's a different situation because you're not ruled by your emotions. You know what I mean? See, some people go through this little mind loop sometimes where they say to themselves like, should I follow my mind or should I follow my heart? But I'm going to be honest with you, your mind lies to you because it puts you in such a cesspool of thoughts that it's so much in there that you don't know how to decipher one from the other. And next thing you know, you're just blowing up because you just got too much in your head at one time. And now you don't want to be bothered. You don't want nobody talking to you. You want nobody around you or near you. None of that. So sometimes your brain becomes a crutch. But then they say follow your heart. But your heart lies to you too sometimes. So if you can't follow your brain and you can't follow your heart, well, what are you supposed to follow? That's where you have to understand the correlation between the fleshly spirit, the fleshly body, and the spirit. The spirit that resides within is not crutched by those things. You're able to see more clearer because you're walking in the spirit. And by walking in that spirit, you're able to see that the different parts through your emotions that you need to pay attention to and the ones that you shouldn't. You know what I mean? But yeah, emotions it's a vast thing to talk about, and a lot of times you're only gonna move on your own understanding, and that's where we falter. We have to look in God's understanding, not our own. You know what I mean? So sometimes we disvalue ourselves more than anything else would disvalue us. You know what I mean? So if I'm playing soccer, for example, right? and we're versing the strongest team. And the moment I get on the field, oh, damn, we versing them. That's crazy. You lost. You already lost. He lost the soccer game. I lost the soccer game. The reason for it is because of the fact that I already disvalued myself and saw my defeat. That's how much power you have. Your emotions, your speech, and everything that comes with you has power, even though it lies to you. Sometimes the person that is your greatest enemy is the one that's closest to you. What's closer to you than your heart and mind? Nothing. And that's why we say we have to give our hearts and our minds and our bodies to God. You know what I mean? So looking back at emotions, you have love, you have happiness and sadness, and then you have hatred. That raw emotion of anger that you just can't control. It's a scary thing to hold. You know, when you look at that emotion of anger, it puts blinders over your eyes. It's not even one that's like blurring the vision. It really blinds you. And you get caught in this rampage of anger, and you don't know how to get out, because it's like it's literally like one mass from one side, like, you know, a form of mass hitting you from one right side, but then a form of mass is hitting you from the left. The only place you're going is forward. You're shooting up. It's blowing up. You know what I'm saying? That's what anger is like. It's like two forms of mass hitting you at once, and you just blew up and you just went out. You know what I'm saying? At that point, you don't know which direction you're going. You just gone. You know what I mean? So that anger, that buildup is something that's not just there for the moment. It's been there the whole time, but it was there in increments. You know what I'm saying? So you think about it like this, like a video. In the video, you can have the whole video, right? But a lot of times your phone doesn't allow you to send that. So it asks you to put a smaller amount. So what happens is you can have an amount this small, like this small right here. Then the next time you can have an amount this big. And then you can have one this small. But by the time you get to the end where you can't take it no more, it already said, blam! You know what I'm saying? And you just got hit with a lot at once. The next thing you know, you just blew up, no control. You know what I'm saying? So anger that's that wild card, because it could take you in two different forms. You can either be a calm storm or a calm river before the storm, or you could be a tsunami just smacking right in. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be the ruler of your own emotions. And in order for you to be the ruler of your own emotions, you have to dig deeper than what you're looking at. A lot of you talk about spirituality, but when you want to deal with being in the spirit, you have to understand what the total meaning of that is. The meaning of being in the spirit is denying yourself. It's not about you. It's about your spirit. You see what I'm saying? The spirit has to be fed, not your body. So all those emotions you think that you're feeling, oh, I gotta do this and I gotta do that and blah, blah, that's your body. That's not your spirit. Because your spirit already knows where to walk. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be rulers of our own emotions. You know what I mean? Because if we are not rulers of our own emotions, we can lose. And then it's game over after that. There's nothing we could do. So, beautiful people, I want to thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for everything that you guys are doing for me. I thank you for the followers, the subscribers. I thank you for the likes, the comments, everything. Guys, I need you guys to continue to hit me up, because the more you guys hit me up, the more content I can bring out to you guys. Don't be afraid to hit the comment button. Don't be afraid to comment to me. Let me know how y'all feel about the video. If you guys got any thoughts, ideas, anything, talk to me. Like, this is a discussion video. We could talk about it. You know what I mean? So, other than that, guys, I want to say thank you again. Please check out the Instagram page. I'm going to put it right up here, because that's where you're going to find a lot of the promotions I'm going to be doing to let you guys know what the next topic is going to be. I'm just going to also let you guys know soon I'm going to be making a Patreon page. I'm going to need all your support as much as possible in order for me to make these videos the way that they need to go. I need you guys to support me. So please go to the Patreon when it's all up. I'm going to let you guys know. Go to the Patreon. Please subscribe. You know what I mean? Please, whatever amount that y'all can to help me get this to where I need to go. I'm trying to make this a full-time job. So thank you for everything you've done, everything you continue to do. Remember, be rulers of your own emotions and continue to prosper. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so we can have more bangers. I thank you guys so much for everything you've done. God bless and have a blessed night.
Yeah. Life just moves on. Alright. Yeah. 3, 2.